welcome. This is J.C. High Eagle. I'm glad to welcome you to the last of my shows here at the Indian Summer Festival 1992. And we're going to share a little bit of Indian flute music with you, maybe little stories, and I don't know what else. It's going to be an exciting time. Have you had a good time here so far? Good. There's lots to see and do, isn't it? Sure is. We welcome you and want you to come back next year too. I'm from Oklahoma. That's an Indian word, Oklahoma. Okla means people, and Huma means red people. Oklahoma has 68 tribes. I have 2 tribes, Osage and Cherokee. Now, Osage, you know, it's like that song, Osage, can you see? No. Osage used to occupy what is now known as Missouri. And I just love to have people ask me where my family from. I always say, well, from Missouri. They say, what part of Missouri? And I said, the whole state. We used to own it. Not too many people can say that these days. The other part of me is a Cherokee. Now, Cherokee is not our name. Cherokee came actually from another tribe that was not so friendly. Came from the Creek tribe. And the Creek tribe named our people Chalagi or Chilagi, which means people who speak another language. But the real tribal name is Ani Yunwiya. That means principal people. So anyway, my grandfather always said, well, it doesn't matter what you call me, just what I answer to. That's what's important. So we'll answer to about anything like that. I want to greet you in my native tongue from Oklahoma. Very traditional Indian greeting. I thought you folks up here in Wisconsin probably have not had an opportunity to hear somebody from Oklahoma in their native tongue greet someone else. So I thought I would start my program off giving you the traditional Oklahoma Indian greeting. It goes like this. Howdy, y'all. Well, that's just about as traditional as you're going to get here from Oklahoma these days. I brought some of my friends with me here. It's about time to introduce them. I have my little bear flute here. This is a bear flute. Maybe you can't see it, but he's right on the side of my flute here, and he has no cavities in those teeth at all. He's a good bear. He goes home, and every night when he gets into his cave, he brushes his teeth. But he's also happy to be here. You see, he's a smiling bear. He's very happy to be here. So he's glad he came. I have a couple other flutes over here. They're kind of resting because they're going to be working with me here in a little while, so they're going to take a little nap while some of these other flutes are resting. But I have a lot of flutes, several flutes, and these 3 came with me this time. They're a privilege to come, and they look around and they look at everybody and check everybody out and see everything going on. And then they tell stories at night of all that they've seen during the day. And then when it's time to go back home to Oklahoma or Texas, I live in Texas now, they go back to the other flutes. Well, that always gets me in trouble because they go back and they tell all those other flutes that had to stay behind, stay at home, all the good things and the good people they've seen here. And it makes those other flutes just real jealous. And they won't play for about 2 weeks just to spite me. They won't. But then I tell them, well, that's all right. Next time I'm going to take you. And so they get happy again and everything's all right. I'd like to play a little bit of flute music for you. I want you to sit back and I want you to relax and I want you to enjoy the flute, Indian flute, and let it come into you and kind of pierce that old armor plating that we carry around all day long to protect us here. Well, I want you to let this flute music come into you and make you feel good, make you feel a lot of love come into you here. The Surgeon General has determined that Indian flute music is not injurious to your health. So I don't want you to be afraid. Flute music is good for you here. Only one caution here, the Indian flute music might be habit forming, and I hope it is. I hope it is. First song is a sunset song. I know that we've already had sunset tonight, but I would like to let this be a song that we come to the end of the day and we say thank you. We say thank you to the Creator for giving us life you have given us, and that we just come to the day to let go and and be reminded that all of life is a gift, and what we've been given here, we say thank you. So this is Sunset Song. If you can imagine in your mind's eye the sun slowly sinking there in the west, and the last few beams of sunlight fading, you can just see that in your mind's eye there. Oh, did you see that sunset? Yeah, that's good. Thank you. This next song is a song about an eagle. Song about an eagle. You know, there's many lessons of the eagle. Some of the lessons the eagle teaches us is the golden eagle especially, he has black and white feather, all on the same feather. And that teaches us within us we have the light, we have the dark, all within us too. And so it reminds us we have a choice. You know, we can choose the light or we can choose the dark. So that's one lesson the eagle teaches us, and there are many. But the biggest lesson I ever learned from the eagle was the difference between flying and soaring. And I want to share that with you before I play the eagle song. You know, there's two ways to stay in the air. We can flap our wings and we can put out a lot of energy and think that nothing's going to get done unless we do it, right? So we get up and we leave our perch and we go up there and we get tired. We get up there, but we don't stay up there very long. When we come back with our tongue hanging out of our beaks and we perch a little while and we rest and then we go at it again, thinking that nothing's ever going to happen unless we make it happen. And then all of a sudden one eagle, he looked up in the sky and he see his brother eagle up there, but he wasn't flying. He wasn't flapping his wings. He was just up there with a big old smile on his beak, just making lazy figure eights and circles in the sky and just celebrating. And he wondered, how can he do that? And so he decided he was going to try that. And so he got off his perch and he was getting ready to get up there, and he started out and he had faith and he had trust. And with faith and trust, he knew that he wasn't going to fall like a rock, because it's kind of hard. You know, you got to have a lot of faith and trust. When you stop flapping those wings, you know you're not going to fall. Gravity's not going to make you fall. But he had the right kind of faith and trust. And then he went out to seek his guidance, and he sought the guiding wind currents and discovered that with guidance he can stay up for hours. The wind beneath his wings is a creator, and with that he could stay up and soar for hours. So that teaches us a principle how we live our life. We can fly and flap our wings and think we're on our own, or we can soar with faith and trust and with the right kind of guidance. And with the Creator, with the wing beneath your wings, you can stay up for hours. So that taught me a big lesson. So I dedicate this song to the eagle for all the good things the eagle teaches us on how to live and be. Did you see that eagle up there soaring? All right. Sometimes people ask me, well, how did you get your first flute? And I'm going to tell you a story about that. I got my first flute when I walked up to this old man, and he was a flute maker. And he didn't play the flute very well, but he knew how to make a good flute. And so it's just like when you see something that you know that it's going to go home with you, you just know it. I mean, it's a dress or it's a new car or whatever it is, has your name on it. You just know it. So I saw a flute that I knew was going to be my flute. And I bought that flute from him. And when I bought it, he said, when I was getting ready to leave, take that flute home and make friends with it. You play beautiful music. So considering his age, I thought that was a nice little story from this man, from my elder. And I smiled and walked off and took it home. And there I sat there in the living room, and I said, I'm going to play this flute. So I got the flute up there, and I went, wouldn't play, just got squeaks. So I thought, well, I'll try this again. Wouldn't play. So what's the first thing that happens when anything goes wrong? We always blame it on something else, right? There was nothing wrong with me. It's got to be the flute. So I took the flute back. So he saw me coming. He said, can I help you? And I said, yes. I said, I want my money back or another flute. Well, right away, he knew what was wrong. He said, well, did you make friends with it? And I said, no, I have to be honest with you. And I scratched my head and smiled a little bit. And I said, I really don't know how to make friends with a flute. I said, well, he said, you take that flute home. And he said, you make friends with it. Play beautiful music. So I was going to give it one more try. So I took the flute home. And I sat there about 10 minutes looking at that flute, wondering how to make friends with that piece of wood. And suddenly it dawned on me that he wasn't trying to tell me about wood or flutes. He was trying to teach me about friendship. So then I decided, well, what is friendship? To be a friend means you treat somebody with gentleness, somebody with tenderness, somebody with respect. To be a friend, you do not force your will upon someone else. And see, I was trying to force my will upon this flute. I'm going to play this flute, see? Flute says, no, you're not. I thought I was powerful. You're just going to be quiet. So then when I began to treat the flute with gentleness and respect and not force my will upon it, it began to make beautiful music. So as a tribute to that man who not only sold me my first flute, but also gave me a valuable wisdom with it, I named the song My Friend, Wikuta, which is the title song of my flute tape. And so this is dedicated to all the friends of the earth, all the friends of the sky, all the friends we have in our animal people and our plant people. These are our friends. And to all you people here, you're my friend too. This is called My Friend. My friend, thank you. Thank you. I want to switch to this other flute now. My flutes are very patient. They always wait, and then it's their turn. They get so excited. Sometimes they just don't play, though. They said, I'll show you. And I'll say, well, now I'll announce my next song. I'm going to play so-and-so, and I get ready, and all of a sudden, they won't play. That happened to me today. But anyway, this next song was named by my mother. I had just put out my first flute tape called Homage, and I went home to Oklahoma, and Mother said, well, are you going to put another flute tape out? And I said, yes, I think so, Mama. And she said, what are you going to call it? And I made up some silly name like, well, Flute Spirit. There's something I can't really relate to. And as mothers generally are with their offspring, they usually let you know in a certain way that of their disapproval of something. And they do it in a way that you save face. Well, my mother did this to me. She put her head down and began to smile and grin a little bit. And her reply was, that's nice. And I knew right away that I'd been had, okay? And I said, well, do you have a name? She said, yes, I sure do. She said, have you considered Echoes? And I said, Echoes? I said, where in the world did you ever get that name? I would never think of that name. Well, she says, aren't you my echo? Oh, yeah, I guess I am, Mama. She says, aren't you echoes of things around you? Yes, I guess I have to say I am, Mama. Aren't you echoes of your generation? Yes, I am. She said, I think that'd be a good name. Well, after that, I did too. How could I choose another name? So it became Echoes. And she just happened to have some recording equipment set up in her living room in her house. And I was going to use some of that night. And she had her hand on the door and said, I'll leave you now. And I said, oh, don't go. And she said, I'll be listening. And she shut the door, and I turned on the machine, and out came 9 minutes and 20 seconds worth of the title song, Echoes. And on the tape, what you hear was recorded in her living room. It was so such an outpouring, such a flow, it could never be recorded again. In fact, I could not even find all the notes on the song to play it again. So don't worry, I'm not going to play 9 minutes and 20 seconds worth of echo, but I am going to play what I have gone back and replayed the tape and learned where the notes are. So I'm going to play as much as I can of what I know to be echoes. So as a reminder and, to all of us, we're all echoes of things around us. We're all echoes of each other. And this is dedicated to my mother, my echo. echoes. Thank you. Thank you. As I mentioned earlier, I'm part Cherokee, and Ani Yunwi is a tribal name. So I want to dedicate this song to the Ani Yunwi, the principal people. This is a song about the Trail of Tears. Okay, thank you. But before I do, I want to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share with you a little bit of my culture and a little bit of things here to share with you tonight. And before you go home, I want to invite you back next time and bring a friend with you, because this is a wonderful place to just come and share and enjoy our fellowship together and allow us to be with you during this time. And there's not many places left that you can just go and be at a place where friends and family and young people can come and just feel good. So I encourage you to support this kind of event, and I look forward to coming back here next year with the Creator's good blessings. I'll see you again. Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you much.